All right, what's up, everybody? This is Tom Taylor with South China Morning Post, SCMP Martial Arts, chatting on this lovely Tuesday afternoon with the flyweight submission grappling champion of one championship, Mikey Musumeci. Mikey, it's always a great pleasure to be chatting with you, man. We were talking a bit before the camera started rolling about what's going on in our lives. You're in Las Vegas right now. How's everything going, man?
Man, training's been great. I just got back to the US like a week ago. It was honestly hell battling the jet lag. I don't know why, dude, but like every time I go from the US to Asia, it's like an instant adjustment. Like you feel great. Like you take melatonin, you sleep that night, you feel fine. But whenever I come back from Asia to the US, I die. So like it's like over a week of just battling jet lag. Like melatonin stops working, caffeine doesn't work. You just feel like shit for like a good week or 2 weeks. It's rough, but it's been awesome. When I got back to the U.S., I was at Mark Zuckerberg's house for like 3 days, and I did some training with him also.
Okay, very cool. How's that, man? Tell me all about that.
Man, he's awesome. He's so cool, and he trains good. You know, like, me and him are the same size, so it's like really fun training with him. Like he has a lot of potential. He like learns so fast. Like I was really impressed training with him. He has a lot of potential. And he's a white belt, and he's like already like tough.
That's really cool, man. Did you ever imagine when you were starting jujitsu like all these years ago that you would be training with the guy that invented Facebook? I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's crazy where jiu-jitsu brings you in life, you know, and the people you get to meet with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
It's definitely an amazing experience.
very cool, man. Well, it's not all fun and games, of course. You have serious business to attend to in a little over a month or less than a month at this point. You're fighting or defending your title against Osamah Almarwai. I hope I'm saying his last name
Yeah, I don't know
properly.
his last name either.
I'm interviewing him on Thursday, so I should probably figure that out before I speak to him. But how's the training for this guy specifically going? I mean, how are the preparations going?
Man, so training's been great. I'm honestly back to my old routine that I won every worlds I've done in black belt doing, you know. I've been doing a lot of gi training also. My main training partner the last like 7 years has been a guy named Rene Lopez. Me and him both live in Vegas, and we just push each other so much. So I wanted to go back to like how I used to train more. So every day I've been doing one gi round with him, just really tough. And I don't know, I feel like I'm super on point right now. Like my mind is stronger than ever. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I have so many ups and downs, but like mentally right now, like I'm another level. So I'm really excited for this match. Osama is a great opponent for me. He's super technical, and I don't really have to worry about him just kicking out and running away, like
Hmm.
a lot of the people in jiu-jitsu do right now. Um, I feel like the trend in jiu-jitsu right now is just anti-jiu-jitsu, steroids, and wrestling. I feel like that's the trend in jiu-jitsu. And Osama
Those are
and me have
bad
both been.
trends.
Trend? Are you saying trend like steroids? No, I'm
No,
kidding.
I'm saying a bad trend. Yeah.
Isn't like that another name for steroids, like trend? Like you could take
Probably.
trend.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
that's a
very
joke
out
that
of
people
touch,
say.
Mikey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know the names that people inject in their butt either. But
Right.
but yeah, Osama is not a steroid guy. He does jiu-jitsu. Like he's actually gonna do jiu-jitsu with me. So we could have like a really fun technical exchange between each other. And I'm super ready for it, you know, like I obsess about this every second, you know. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to bring to the match,
Hmm.
and if I'll have the answers or not. But I
Hmm.
have this crazy mindset right now. Again, I told you I'm training how I did when I first won worlds. I'm back to that, back to my roots. So like I'm just super excited for this match.
So why is it that you wanted to kind of go back to the way that you used to train? Was there anything in particular, or just kind of changing things up?
I feel like it's super easy when you're in the position I'm in to get content, and to when you stick to like a certain routine over time, you kind of just get complacent. So I wanted to get to that feeling again where when I just got to black belt and I was hungry to win worlds. So I wanted to bring back an old part of me kind of, and
Hmm.
I did, and that's why I'm a little crazy right now. I'm super aggressive in training, more than ever, and I think it's gonna come out in the match. I just I love Osama. He's awesome, but I want to go out there and freaking go.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's very exciting as a fan. I love to hear that. I mean, you always entertain, and it sounds like you're going to
Yeah,
take it to the next level in this one.
but me and him have a huge responsibility this time. It's the first card in the US. So like, and we're the co-main event of this card in the US with all MMA fans. So we cannot have like this boring match where like patty cake and running and stuff. So when I go out in this match, I'm just gonna sprint at him. You know what I mean? Like I'm just going to just run forward, and I expect him to do the same. Like we literally have to have this vibe to make it exciting, because jiu-jitsu could be boring, for people that don't know jiu-jitsu. So me and him have this responsibility that we just have to freaking go and like kill or be killed, like die by the sword. Like that's my mindset. Just running like Game of Thrones vibes. Like you have a sword and you just both go, and whoever gets stabbed dies. But like it's exciting.
Yeah, it definitely sounds exciting. I wanted to ask you about this because I know you sort of feel this responsibility to represent jiu-jitsu and elevate the sport in one championship, make it as entertaining as possible for the fans. But of course, this being the US debut, you're also kind of representing one championship in North America. Like there's sort of a lot of pressure on you in this one, I would say. I don't want to speak anything into
just a little bit.
Yeah. I don't want to speak anything into existence or, manifest, as the kids say, but are you kind of feeling the pressure this time, or?
I live with the pressure, like my the responsibility of being in the position I'm in. You have to live with the pressure and you grow from the pressure. So I feel like every time I had pressure, like when I won Worlds, I would be like, okay, I'm used to it now, and then the pressure would grow more. Then it would grow more. Then it would grow more. So I feel like it's a responsibility, but I've learned to live with it and use it as fuel. And it makes you even more hungry than you used to be if you use it right. It could destroy you, because if the pressure gets too heavy and you let it like break you, then you just want to quit, right? And a lot of people break from pressure. That's something I've noticed about people. I feel like one gift I've always had is whenever I get more pressure, it brings out a better version of me, So I'm excited to see how this pressure, I'm able to perform with it, and it's going to push me. So I love that. Every time I compete, I'm looking to push myself out of my comfort zone. So this is definitely helping me. I have a lot of responsibility this time. Again, this is the first US card. Like we can't fuck around. There cannot be any boring like patty cake or running or footsies or anything like butt scooting. No, we have to freaking go. So I am excited for this.
Well, that's a great mindset, and I think it's a champion's mentality. So I love to hear that. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse. I just went for a long run, and it's still a little bit cold out, so my throat's a little bit dry.
It's cold in the U.S. right now. I was so pumped.
Yeah.
I've been in Asia, so like I become like very like kind of like a bitch to the cold. I grew up in New Jersey, but being back in Vegas, it's like 60, 70 degrees. I'm complaining.
Right, man. I get it. I thought it was going to be really warm out today, so I went out for this long run in shorts and a t-shirt, and I got like halfway and I was freezing, and yeah, it was not quite ready for that level of run. But anyway, speaking of cardio and things of that nature, one interesting thing about this fight is that it will be at altitude. Denver, I think, is like 5,000 feet above sea level. I don't know much about altitude and fighting and training at altitude. I don't think you're at risk of getting like altitude sickness just walking around, but I imagine in a fight you may start to feel that lack of oxygen. Is this something you're preparing for?
Okay, so the first time I talked about this was yesterday. That's kind of funny you brought it up. I live in Henderson, Nevada, and the elevation here is like over 2,000. So we're not sea level like Florida when I used to live, thank God. But I think it's still over double the amount in Boulder, Colorado, because we're not in Denver. We're going to be in Boulder. So you said it's like 5,000, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like more than double what I'm used to. I think I'm getting there like 60s before the match. My friends told me I'll feel like shit probably like the first 2 or 3 days, and then I'll get used to it.
Okay.
So I feel like because I'm already up, like it's gonna help. Like I'm not just starting from sea level, right? Yeah, it's pretty much my opinion on it. I've trained in Colorado before, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna die when you go there," and I felt normal. So I don't know, like if this is just like a mental thing. and I just got to push. Or
Well, that's a good sign, at least.
yeah. So I've done it before, and I didn't feel bad. I think that I'll definitely feel a little weird, maybe a day or two, but I'll adjust fast. I'll be fine.
Right. Okay, well, let's talk about some of the fights on this card. There's some big ones and a few
Oh
that I'd
my
really like to
god.
get your thoughts on. Main event obviously is the real, that's the main event, right? It's the main event for a reason. It's a huge fight. Who are you picking in this one? Who do you think wins this one?
This match is so hard because both guys have finished each other before. So they both are going to have a certain respect for each other that they know if they make one mistake, they could get knocked out, right? Um, I don't know. They're both so good. I believe Mighty Mouse wins again. I think that he made the adjustments his second match. I think the first match they had, he just wasn't used to the rule set of one where you can knee somebody on the ground. And I think that was what threw him off. So when you're in a match like that, you're subconscious, you just go subconscious. And all his years doing MMA in other organizations, that different rule, he instinctively followed that rule set, even though he had a different rule set. So I see Mighty Mouse winning this match again. But again, we're gonna see how Adriano comes back from the last match, because some people, after they get knocked out or they lose a match, they come back mentally a little messed up from it. It could break somebody. But some people, when they lose a match, they come back another level, right? Like we just saw that with Israel against what's his name?
Alex
Sorry,
Pereira.
Yeah. So we just saw that. So some people, it makes them like fuels them, and then they come back another level. So that's why I don't know. It's unpredictable. Will Adriano come out like another level now after that last match because it made him hungry? Or will Mighty Mouse be confident from the last match, and then he'll just have that upper hand because he's confident? If I have to just pick and put money on it, I would say Mighty Mouse, but I wouldn't be surprised if Adriano, being the champion that he is, comes back and wins.
That's a great breakdown, man. I completely agree with everything you said there, actually. I think that's a great breakdown. Another great fight on the card is the other co-main event in addition to your fight, Rodtang defending his title against Edgar Tabares, a newcomer from Mexico.
Can you tell me about him a little bit? Do you know anything about him?
I don't know a ton about him. I'm speculating that, as they were looking for an opponent for Rodtang, they, saw that he's a guy from, and it's Cinco de Mayo, right? So that sort of makes sense to have a Mexican fighter on the card. I think that was actually what they were thinking. But he seems like he's quite good. But I saw your Instagram post about this card. You shared the graphic of the entire card, and you're kind of talking about the appeal of this one. And I know you did a little bit of training with Rodtang. You guys kind of hit it off.
I love Rodtang. He's the best.
Is he just the perfect guy to put on this card, or what?
Oh my god! So I think that everyone that one chose for this card was perfect. The U.S. fans are just gonna love these people. Rodtang is just pure excitement. Like how I made this post talking about Rodtang. He's like a modern day Mike Tyson. You know how like Mike Tyson would charge people, and like Rodtang just doesn't care if he gets hit. So like it's like fighting someone that just is like a zombie. Like he just doesn't care. Like you can't kill him. So I feel like in terms of excitement, like the fans are gonna be like, holy shit, like this guy literally doesn't care. Like he's just gonna come forward, and like his legs are like hands. Like that's what I felt when I was like sparring with him, like messing around. Like him doing this. Like me doing this with my hand, the reflex of it is less with him with his leg. It's like so fast. It's insane. It's insane. So I obviously think Rodtang wins by far. I think he knocks out this guy. This guy might be amazing, and much respect to him, but Rodtang is the best. I think he's the GOAT right now in Muay Thai, especially for me. I'm just a huge fan of Rodtang. So I think the American fans are going to go crazy when he comes out dancing on the stage, and like they're going to be like, "Who? Oh my God, this is so cool." So yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not a fan of Rodtang, check your pulse, right? I mean, this guy's amazing.
He's so cool. Like he's such good vibes too. Like he's such a good,
he really is.
Nice guy. So
he definitely is. Another fight I wanted to get your thoughts on. Ty is back on this one. The other grappling match on the card, taking on RDR. Some interesting variables in this one. I think most people would agree that Ty has been competing at a higher level in grappling, obviously. But RDR is a great grappler himself. He'll be quite a bit bigger. what do you think of this one? What are the kind of key details of this one that are going to determine who wins?
First of all, congrats to Ty. He's now the youngest world champion in IBJJF in the
Wow.
gi. He just won the world title because his opponent just failed the drug test for steroids. So it's just me and Rutolos against all these steroid people. So
and Osama.
Yeah, Osama's not on steroids. He's cool. Yeah,
I know. I'm kidding.
Like I'm just saying, like it's been just us three versus everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's awesome. I'm just congrats to Ty. Like he deserves that. This just happened. So congrats, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Like amazing. Like such a legend. Him and his brother. His brother's the youngest ADCC world champion, and he's the youngest IBJJF world champion. Like
amazing.
At such a young age, it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so about this match, yeah, I think Ty finishes RDR. I think he does. He's another level right now, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they train, how creative they are, how athletic they are. Like they have such beautiful jiu-jitsu, and they have like they're a mix of everything. So I think that Ty will finish this match. I would say with a Darth choke. I don't know why, but that's my prediction.
It's a specialty, right?
Yeah, that's his specialty, but I feel like because he's fighting an MMA guy, RDR, I feel like they'll end up in a headlock scenario, like situation. I think that there will be some wrestling in this match, and I think RDR might be really strong with wrestling because he's an MMA fighter, right? So they're good with like wall wrestling and different things like that. But I see some weird scramble happening where Ty almost takes him down. He posts his hands, and then he just locks his hands in a Darth. Right. That's my prediction.
That's another great breakdown, man. I think you should seriously start, consider getting into analysis for one championship or something, because you're really good at this, man. I mean that sincerely.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Speaking of high-level grappling, your sister recently debuted and won. She had a fun and fairly close fight with Bianca Basilio.
Fun match. That fight sucked. That fight was like so shit to watch.
I didn't think it was that bad, man. But let's talk about it. Obviously part of the problem was this new rule, this guard pulling rule, and it seemed like I didn't know that was a new rule, and it seemed like maybe your sister.
Either. I'm coaching her, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? I thought I knew the rules, and I didn't even know the new rule. So
that obviously affected things a little bit, right?
Yeah. We didn't.
It seemed like that was sort of part of her strategy. She wanted to pull guard.
Yeah, so we didn't know the rule, and basically the rule says, like, obviously there's no points for takedowns. The only thing that matters is submission catches. Mm-hmm. But if your opponent takes you down, then you actually have to pass the guard and try to do jiu-jitsu. So then Bianca's strategy was just hand fight, and I don't know. I don't know what they were doing there. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, this is not like they're doing zero jiu-jitsu right now. I was trying to figure out what was the game plan. I think she wanted my sister to get a penalty for pulling over time, but how do you go into a one championship match with a mentality just to win by a penalty? You got to go in to finish the person or do some jiu-jitsu. We're in a jiu-jitsu match. Do some jiu-jitsu. Bianca's amazing jiu-jitsu, that's why I was so pumped to watch my sister and her exchange and some cool jiu-jitsu exchanges. But then it turned into this weird dance and hand fight that both of them are just backing up. Like my sister's just charging forward because she doesn't know what to do. I was just very frustrated. I was like, what is this? This is not like jiu-jitsu at all, So I thought it was a shit match. My sister definitely won because she was actually trying to do jiu-jitsu in the match, and Bianca was playing strategic. It would have been way more fun. Again, Bianca has amazing jiu-jitsu and is so good at attacking and doing things. It would have been so much more fun if she would have done that in this match instead of just trying to play strategy.
Right. That's another great breakdown.
I just keep it real, I just keep it real. Yeah.
That's what we love about you, man. Obviously there, this new rule, it caused some confusion in your sister's debut, which is unfortunate, but overall, do you like this rule? Once they flesh it out, do you think it's a good thing overall? You can be honest.
I don't know, honestly. I think that it will 100%, the person that wants to do jiu-jitsu will win the match every time, but it's a little risky in the fact that it can make somebody lose less. So if I fight someone and their whole goal is not to get submitted by me, they could just hand fight and run away the whole time, and they'll get yellow cards. and they'll probably never come back to one championship, but they could say, "Oh, I didn't get submitted," So it's annoying, but it might make it more exciting. It definitely makes me feel like I got to chase people. Like I got to literally go out and sprint at the person instead of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's just my mindset with this now. Like I don't want to have to deal with that, like what my sister just dealt with. So I just have to be aggressive as fuck and just go out there and chase the person. It definitely puts more on me to have to do that, but I'll make it exciting. I feel like it's up to both athletes to make it exciting. And one's rule set does make it exciting, but both athletes have to try. I'm working on making it where I don't even need the other person to try. I could just go out and do it.
That's a great strategy, man. This specific rule notwithstanding, do you like that one is sort of adjusting things, experimenting a little bit, trying to find ways to elevate this?
This is great, because like we talked about, jiu-jitsu isn't that exciting. So it is for us because we love jiu-jitsu, but for the typical viewer, like an MMA fan, like these people, they don't really know what's going on. So when they're on the floor, they're like, why are they not punching? What's going on? So one is experimenting to try to see how they can make it exciting for everyone to watch. So I think it's great, and it's going to take a few adjustments over time for us to perfect this rule set. I think that but I do think that it's way easier to be exciting. Like you could have the two most exciting guys and you put them in any format and it'll still be exciting. So I think what one's trying to do is make it that even with someone that isn't exciting, they can make the format still work where the match could be watchable for MMA people and Muay Thai people. So
interesting.
It's interesting, and we're in the baby phases of this. There's going to be so much more in the future with jiu-jitsu. So I think it's great. I do think it's great. And I'm honored that I'm one of the guinea pigs in this experiment.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be growing pains, right? Grappling, as you said, is quite new in one championship, and they're trying new things. There will be little bumps along the way, but I think overall, it's been pretty exciting.
And the effort that one is doing is so amazing. The effort they're making to make jiu-jitsu exciting and to grow jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
it's
these
amazing.
Bonuses that you can get and stuff too. There's big money, for some of these grapplers now. It's very cool to see. We've cruised past the 22-minute mark. I don't want to keep you all afternoon here, Mikey, so we can start wrapping it up. I can talk to you for hours too, but I know you probably got things to do. We'll get you back on our podcast soon, though. That was a lot of fun last time.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
We'll have to do that again soon. We've talked about some of the big fights on this card. You said you think DJ probably defends, tough pick.
But it could also Adriana could just come out like another mental beast just from losing the last match. So we just don't know. But I have DJ winning on paper. But again, it could change. Yeah.
And you've backed Rod Tang, and you think Ty might win with a Darce. How about you, man? How are you winning this fight? Your match?
Okay, I'm done with being stubborn with things. I have this problem where I'll be hyper focused on something, and then I just get fixated on it the whole match. So I am not allowed to do that anymore. I am not allowed to have in my mind a game plan or a goal. I'm just going to just throw myself at my opponent. Whatever submission there is, I'm going to go for and not be stubborn. If it's not there, I move on. That's the mindset.
That's a great mindset. I love, hearing about the way your mindset sort of evolves from match to match and, training session to training session. It seems like you're always thinking and always kind of changing things. It's very cool.
I'm trying, I feel like that's how I evolve as an athlete, just constantly changing things and mixing it up. And it's fun to mix it up,
Keeps things interesting, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap it up with this, Mikey. If you put on your promoter hat for a second, forget you're a fighter. Why do fans that, U.S. fans that are perhaps not super familiar with One Championship, why is this an event they need to tune in for?
Man, One Championship, again, us U.S. people, we've had MMA for, we're the country of MMA, right? We've had MMA, growing up my whole life, I've watched MMA. But One Championship is different. It really is different. The environment of it, the atmosphere, the energy of it, it isn't that shit talk, low class vibe that you'll get from other MMA organizations and things. It's more like martial arts, the beauty of it and all the different disciplines you'll watch. You'll watch the best people in that discipline. So you'll watch the best Muay Thai guys, the best kickboxing guys, the best jiu-jitsu guys, and you'll see all of them, the top guys. And it doesn't matter which discipline you're watching. it all becomes one with martial arts, and you see the deeper root of it. And that's why I think One Championship's an awesome name, because it's all one, and it brings us all together as one. And it's people from all around the world. And I don't know. It's my favorite thing to watch, and I think that Americans are going to go crazy for it. I really believe that.
Well said, man. Any message for your fans and supporters before I let you go?
No, let's do this, guys. One more month, and then let's do this.